We've all been there, right? Staring at a GCSE maths paper, feeling that little knot of stress in your stomach. But what if I told you there's a hidden system to this whole thing? A kind of secret code that once you get it, can help you squeeze out every single possible mark. Well, today, we're going to crack that code together.
90 minutes, no calculator allowed? It's just you, a pen, the paper, and whatever's going on inside your head. That's why understanding how your thinking gets graded is so, well, it's everything.
But here is the big question. Are you really using that time and that brain power in the smartest way possible? Because it's not just about getting the final answer. Oh no. There's a secret language to these exams, a hidden rulebook for how marks are given out that most students never, ever get to see.
All right, so our investigation is going to start with the paper itself. We're going to look at it not just as a test, but as a map, a set of clues we need to follow. Think about it. Before you even get to question 1, the front of that paper lays out all the rules of the game. Now, most of us, we just scribble our name and dive right in. But these instructions, they're actually the first clues to cracking this thing. We see the usual stuff, right? Answer all questions? Yeah, got it. Use marks as a guide. Makes sense. But then, there's this one. You must show all your working. It seems so obvious, doesn't it? But trust me, that one little sentence is the most important clue on the entire paper. We'll come back to why in just a moment.
So you've done what they asked. You've tackled a question, you've written down all your steps, your brain's done the heavy lifting. But what actually happens next? How does some examiner look at your page of numbers and decide, yep, that's worth 3 marks?
To answer that, we need to go behind the curtain. We need to get our hands on the secret document that the examiner is using to grade your paper.
And here it is, the mark scheme. This is the examiner's Bible, their secret rulebook, and it is the key to absolutely everything. This isn't just a list of the right answers. It is a detailed blueprint for how every single mark is awarded.
You see, marking is not a matter of opinion. An examiner can't just decide you deserve 2 marks because your handwriting is nice. Nope. They have to follow a super strict, predefined path for every question, and it's all laid out right here in this document. It's all broken down into a simple code. M is for a method mark. You get this for using a correct method even if you mess up the numbers. P is for a correct process, usually in a tricky multi-step problem. And A is for an accuracy mark. That's for the perfect final answer. And here's the game changer. You often can't even get that A mark unless you've already picked up the M marks along the way.
Okay, enough with the theory. Let's see how this actually works. We're going to take a real question and connect it to its secret breakdown in the mark scheme.
We're going to zoom in on question 12 from this paper. It's a pretty standard 3-mark question about finding the equation of a perpendicular line.
And check this out. On the left, you've got the question just as you'd see it in the exam. And on the right, the exact word-for-word instructions the examiner uses to mark it. This is our chance to see the exam through their eyes.
So how do you actually earn those 3 precious marks? Well, the mark scheme breaks it down into 3 simple steps. First, you've got to find the gradient of the perpendicular line. Second, you substitute the point they give you into the equation. And third, you write down that final correct equation.
Now look at how these steps turn directly into marks. You get 1 method mark, an M1, just for finding the perpendicular gradient. That's it. You get a second method mark, another M1, for correctly substituting the point. The final accuracy mark, the A1, is only for getting the answer spot on. Now just think about what this means. You can get 2/3 of the marks on this question without even getting the final answer right. That is huge.
So how does knowing all this actually change anything? I mean, how can you use this insider info to score more marks? Well, that brings us to your new exam strategy.
Hey, remember this instruction from the very front of the paper? You must show all your working. It's not just a boring suggestion anymore, is it? It's a direct command that's basically screaming, show me your method so I can give you marks. Every single line you write down is a new chance to claim one of those M or P marks, even if you make a dumb calculation error right at the very end.
This is what I like to call the mark scheme mindset. From now on, you're not just trying to find an answer. You are on a hunt for method and process marks. You get that a wrong final answer is not a total disaster. Every step you show is a chance to put points on the board. You start to think like the examiner. Okay, this is a 4-mark question. What 4 things are they probably looking for me to do?
So by seeing the exam not just as a bunch of problems, but as a system, a game with very clear rules,
you can completely change how you play. The question isn't just what's the answer anymore, it's how do I show my method to grab every possible mark? So now that you've seen behind the curtain, how are you going to tackle your next exam question?